Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to yet another Photoshop tutorial. This time around, I'm going to be revisiting something you're probably pretty familiar with if you've been watching the other tutorials on this channel. It's a banner for your Discord community. Now, we could use it for other things besides Discord, but it's probably the best place to use it, and I made it with Discord in mind. So it would work out best there for you. So this time around, as you can see, it's a little simpler than the sort of things we've done in the past. In the past, you're probably familiar with more color, more vibrant images, anime figures. This time around, it's going to be a bit more simple. It's going to be geared toward a wider group of Discord communities, because I know not every community is anime based. They want different things. So this is probably going to be a last tutorial I do with this style of banner, and you're probably thankful for that because I think I've done 3, and this would be the 4th, or this is the 3rd one for that style, so it's getting old fast, I know. But this time around, it's going to be making 3D text, getting a drop shadow going, and just having a minimalistic overall style. Now I can make it more minimalistic, of course, by getting rid of that, and some of these little pieces right there, but I added it in just for a little extra bit. Okay, so to start out, what you're going to want to do is make a new canvas. So we're going to go to new, and the size that you'll want for this is going to be 750 by 320. There we go. And resolution, I'm not really going to mess with that. You can bump it up if you want. It doesn't really matter. You can always make the canvas bigger, because it's better to start with a larger canvas size and then shrink the image as needed than to start with a small canvas size and try to blow up the image, because then it's going to look absolutely terrible. Then make a new layer and delete the background because we are not going to be needing that. And then just grab a color. And actually, before I forget, we're going to be using a color palette for this one to help us get the colors that we need. And the colors I'm going to be using are these right here, just to match the same kind of thing we got going on over on this one. And you can just Google color palette or color combination chart to get a whole list of colors that will work well for you. So my background, I'm going to make this color, and I'll grab this one for now, but I'm not going to need it quite yet. Let's hide that, and we will make our backgrounds. So the size that you want for this is going to be 373 by 208. Let's get that made. And we're going to want 373 by 208. Perfect. And then I'm going to want to mess around with it a bit more and get the corners up to 12 pixels for curved edges, and that's perfect. Now we have the basic backgrounds, and we can adjust it from there. I don't need that layer now. And I'm going to leave this color combination right there because I will need to grab that other color. I'll just stick it right in the corner so I can grab it quickly and easily when I need it. So Control G on this, make a group, and let's call it the backgrounds, and give it a nice color to help it stand out. So I'm going to call this the base layer, and we'll adjust it from here. Let's do blending options. We're going to want to do stroke, and let's see. I'm kind of on the edge between 2 and 3. 4 is too much. I'm just going to go with 3. I like 3. That's 3. And then I'm going to go and do a... I don't know. Is that okay? Yeah, I can always adjust it pretty easily if we don't like it. I'm going to do one more adjustment right here. Just Control J that and duplicate it. And then clear the layer style. There it is. I'm going to go back over to the round rectangle tool, and we're going to make this a stroke instead of an actual large shape. Gonna want to use a solid line. And actually, let me switch this to a different color so I can actually see what I'm doing. And this is gonna be our little edge border piece. I like 3 pixels. I think that looks okay. Now we're just gonna want to play around with that. I think that looks decent. Let's see what else we have. I'm actually really liking this one because this is gonna match the colors. We can always cut back a bit on the opacity, and I think that's perfect. I like that one. So we'll call this the shadow edge. I have the most creative names, don't I? Okay, and now from here we're gonna start working on the text, and because then we want to make sure we have our text in the right place, and then we can start adding all the decorations to it. So create a new layer, and the font that we're going to be using is called Tokyo. This has to be one of my favorite all-time fonts. I will link it in the description for you to download. I've started using it for so much stuff, and I guess we'll just call this 4000. Keep it the same as the other one. Might as well. Let's move this to the center, and then we can figure out how large we want it to be from here. So I think at this point, because you have to remember, we're going to be extruding it to the back, so it's going to be probably from here in size. So I think this should be fine. We'll also go a little bit bigger to that, just to make it stand out more. I mean, it's going to be standing out a lot because it's going to be the most colorful part of this whole design. But that will help it pop just a little bit more. So we no longer need that gray. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my gray. I'm just switching my palette over here using X. As you notice, it switches back and forth over here and over there. I'm going to switch to my gray. I'm going to hold I on my keyboard. And I come over here and hit green. Now I'll leave it just in case, but just don't need it at this second. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a blending options. Add a stroke. And make that stroke that same exact color. We're going to be decorating a bit more in a second. I just want to get that out the way. So I'm just going to make this up here and name this the base text. And this one I'm going to put in a group by doing Control G. And this is where the fun begins. I'm going to rasterize this real quick. Oops, I pressed the style. And this is where we're going to hold Control and Alt on your keyboard, and then click the directional arrows and watch what happens. If I hit up, it makes a copy, moves it up. If I hit right, and that makes a copy of that one, moves it right. So we're going to do that like over and over and over again until we're far enough back. So keep on holding Control all this entire time, and hit up, right, 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 and just a little bit more. Might be too much. What we can do real quick, let me make a copy just to save it. I'm going to rasterize, merge the group, blending options, and it's going to be all green because we don't want any blue here because we want the effect of the green stroke going all the way back. So we're going to do color overlay, and we will make that green. Actually, yeah, I think that is fine. Let's see. We're going to add another factor to this one. We're going to add a pattern overlay, and I will include the download for this in the description, but if you've seen the other tutorials, you already have Tokyo font and you have this pattern, so don't worry about it. Let's play around with that a bit. Let's see. I think that's okay. I'm not liking how far. Let's try the other one real quick because we left it here for a reason. Let's delete two of those layers. Merge the group. Copy. Paste. Oops. Let's compare these two. So that's the first one. It's the second one. Okay. Yeah, I like that one more. I'm gonna get rid of this one because I don't need it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. So from here we can start working our magic. I might actually add a pattern to this too. Let's see how the pattern would look if I added it. Oh wait, I'm being stupid. I have to rationalize layer style first. Otherwise, the pattern's not going to show up because I'm doing a color overlay at this moment. Let's see, pattern overlay, and yeah, that work. That works. Yep. Okay, we can do that. And next thing we want to do is we want to add shadows to it to add more depth to the image and make it look like it's actually 3D. Because at the moment, it has that effect going on, sort of, but we want to expand on that even more. So grab the handy dandy pen tool, which can be a lot of fun or a huge pain. This all depends. And then go all the way down and make one of these colors completely black. Doesn't matter which one because you have your color palette right here in the corner to grab the color if you need it again. I'm going to put this in a group and I'm going to name this the I can't even spell it, extruded parts. We'll name this the extrude and make a new layer. And we're going to work our magic from here on out. It's going to be all clipped on, and we're going to start doing some overlays with that. But we will work from here. I'm going to go like this. Doesn't matter if you cover the entire thing because this will all be in a shadow. And then, let's see, this one as well. That would also be in a shadow. And this one should also be in a shadow. And then for here, we want the shadow to be right like that. And you want to follow the style. You don't want to be straight across. Because you have to remember it's being extruded backwards, not flat. So you want to go just like this when you do the extruding. I mean, when you drop the shadow in. So I'm going to start right here because I'm already here. And you want to make sure we copy it all the way across. So if we do it on this one, that means we have to do it on that one all the way across. So just like that. And try to keep the same thing going all the way across every single one of them. And that was here. Oops. That one's done. And now we're on to this last one. So we want to keep it similar, so we'll do it right here. Just to make sure everything lines up. And add a little bit in here. You're not going to see it too well, but it's better to have it in there. And I like to do it across these lines that I made. So right across that line, you can barely see it. And go all the way around. And that is that. I did not need to do that. Okay. Now this looks like a mess, but watch this. Right click, great clipping mask, and from here we will work our shadow magic. That is not what I wanted. Okay. There we go. And now it does have a shadow effect. So I do want to try with these out real quick. Haven't really messed with these too much for this kind of thing. Let me bring the opacity way back up. One sec. Yeah. I don't like any of these. So just drop the, no, not overlay, on normal. Drop the opacity all the way down to about here. Maybe a bit lower. I'm not liking that. And now it has a much more realistic 3D effect to it than if you didn't have the shadow. And next part is going to be, let me add a color to that, is getting our drop shadow down from there. We're at 15 minutes right now. Let me try to go a little bit quicker. Just this basic part right here took 15 minutes. I am so sorry you had to sit through that entire mess. I would have sped it up if I had a video editor. Okay, so from here we're gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna go down and we're gonna make it black. We're gonna color overlay it black, and then we're gonna do a drop the opacity on it to make it a shadow effect. So group this again, and we'll name this shadow. Oh, drop shadow. For whatever reason, I forgot how to English today. That's okay. And we don't need that, so clear layer style. Actually, if it's going to be stroked out, it has to match up. So actually rasterize layer style. And then, oops. I'm going to go ahead and make it black now so we can see it better once we're going down. Color overlay and black. And it's actually going to be behind this stuff, so we're not going to see that kind of mess right there. And then same thing, Control Alt down, right, down, right, down, right, down, right, and just keep that going until you get to a good point. You guys have to sit through and watch me do this because I have no way to speed up. I should probably learn how to do video editing myself, but I just don't have the time. I have been trying to pick up Python recently. It's going pretty well, just haven't been able to commit as much time as I wanted to it. So I haven't been able to advance as quickly as I would like. But I have about a year and a half period before I have to really know it, so it gives me plenty of time to pick up on it. I haven't had too much time for Photoshop, but I do pop in every now and then to work on stuff. And honestly, all this stuff I'm doing in Photoshop should probably be done in Illustrator, but I hate Illustrator so much that I just can't stand it. We're almost there. Almost there. Okay, you're probably wondering I went so far down. And the answer lies in this right side right here. Because if you notice on my other one, oops, I kind of made the mistake right here. I stopped too early, and so you still see the curve from this 0. So you need to go farther down so it looks like a straight line all the way down. Look at that, 246 layers. Let's merge that thing. That gargantuan shape. And we're going to put this as a clipping mask on our backgrounds. And now it's all nice and clipped inside. Drop the opacity, and voila. It matches up perfectly with our text. Just like magic. There's no such thing as magic. Okay. There we go. Now we have our text and our drop shadow. From here you can adjust. You can move the text down. I'll probably do that. Let's see. Move it down a teensy, weensy bit. Yep. So that's there. And now we can start working on all the decoration. Let's hide that. Actually, we need this one, so I'm not going to hide it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this white. And I'm going to add white little dots to the outside of my shape. Ellipse tool, make the stroke white, make the fill non-existent, make sure it's on the dots, and I'm going to have to probably adjust it. And make sure you hold shift when you make this, otherwise it's going to be a really funky shape. That is way too big, so let's move this down. And I want it to be about there. I really like that. Now, I don't want it to be too obnoxious. I'll probably do it like this, if not a teeny bit smaller. There we go. Oops, that is not positioned right. I like that, kind of. Actually, make it a bit smaller still. There we go. Yeah, I like that, okay. Sorry. And then I'm gonna do a rasterize, and just so it matches up perfectly on the other side. Highlight over the area, Control J, create clipping mask, Control T, go to width, put a minus in front of it, hit check mark, and drag that all the way over to the other side. And now it matches out perfectly. So we have that. Next thing I'm going to do is add a few little circles. Let's add one more circle at that one little teeny tiny circle. Just like this. Because why not? You can add it right there. Now other one to the other side. And then we can add another circle. Like this. This one without a stroke. Just white. For whatever reason. Add it right there. And this is probably too excessive. It's probably not going to turn out looking amazing. It's going to take some fiddling to get it look great. But I think it's okay for now. That works. And then I'm just going to grab these from this other file because I don't feel like searching folders and then resizing. It's going to take more time, and you guys have been sitting here for long enough already. Oh, did I not do that? There we go. Move these up. Okay, that's there. And then we can add in the rope. The rope's going to take a second to make, so please bear with me as the rope is being created. Now, I'm not the best at making the rope. It normally takes me a few tries, so hopefully it works out well in this first try. If it doesn't, you'll at least have a general idea of how to make the rope. So the color we want to use for the rope is going to be this one right here. Want a solid line, and then when I get onto our roping, I'm going to start right about here. Oops, I already messed up. Start there, and then I always forget how to do this. So I think I go like that. No, wait. I go like this, and then I go like that, and then I go like this, and then wasn't there a song like that at some point? Could have sworn there was. And then like, okay, that rope is too big. 1 second. Like that. Okay, that's not big enough. Then like, wait. No. No. Okay. Hey, there we go. I finally remember how to make it. Okay, it's probably not going to turn out thick enough, but you guys have already been sitting here for 2.5 years watching this. So I'm not going to bother remaking it from here. But you're going to have a general idea of how to make this and get the ball rolling with it. Ooh, that was not supposed to happen. What did I do? Stop it. Photoshop, why? There we go. Okay, this is getting worse and worse the farther along I'm going. It started out tiny. Okay, you get the idea. I'm just gonna drop the other rope in. And you're gonna want to keep it at this color, and you're gonna want to add a 1 pixel stroke to it. The stroke being, just color that in. And you're gonna want the stroke to be. Let me grab the color. You want the stroke to be this color right here, 2E3141, and just 1 pixel. And I guess this is about 4 or 5 pixels of thickness. I was using 2 for this one. So you're gonna make sure you have it at about that size. Oops. So yeah, there's about 4 pixels, 4 or 5 pixels for this one. Don't worry about that. That was from the other file. You don't need to add any drop shadows or anything to it. Because see, the only reason that's there is because this original color is some kind of dirty brown because I was using it for a different project. I just dropped it in. But when you go to the overlay, it is that pink color I was mentioning. So the color you do want for this is you want this pinkish color. Just don't do this. Don't do that. It is extra steps you don't need to take. And then you can add in text at the bottom that says whatever. Oh, we want the color be that and say, yay, we did it. And there you go. It's a simple banner style. I screwed up the rope. I apologize for that. It takes some fiddling around to get it done correctly. Even after making rope so many times, I still struggle with it to get it sized correctly, to get it. Just in general, rope is a pain for me. But you have a general idea how to work with it, so you don't have to do rope. You could do some other stuff at the top, some squiggly lines, some other shapes. I don't know. Just play around with it. And that when I upload this, I'm not gonna include these red shapes because these are made just for 2K and only for official stuff I want them to be used for. But you can look up. I think they're called Iziakuya lanterns. I don't know how to spell that, but if you just search red Japanese lanterns, you'll find them. But I'm sure you're gonna find other stuff that you wanna include in there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll upload this actual file so you have all these color palettes I used and everything else minus the lanterns. I'll find a replacement and drop it in and upload it like that. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing day and you continue to check out our videos in the future.